with the presidents in the three. So I'm going to start with the chairperson of the AU Commission, whom we thank profusely for the presence here and for having conveyed the message from Africa. When the President of the Republic decided last year in our consultations that the University of Fort Hare is not just a South African university, but an African university, and therefore part of its celebration must be in Africa Month, the month of May. It was the message that he said here today that was carried in those words. And I would therefore like to bring forward the chairperson of the AU Commission to accept a present from us. Thank you very much. The President of the Republic of South Africa not only gave the speech today, for which we are so grateful, but has coordinated government. And when we thank him as the head of state,
yes,
we are thanking every government department
yes,
that has assisted to make this day the
possible
success it has been.
Thank you, Mamalat. Thank you.
Now I can order president. I'm going to call the President of the Republic to stand up and accept the gift.
With the powers vested with you, Mawawa. I call on President to take this.
My protocol has been deliberate here. Those who manage protocol elsewhere. I wanted to finish off with the alumnus of the University of
Yay!
But before I call him to the fore, Mr. President, I want to add in the coordination by saying that we have seen single-mindedness in government in ensuring that this particular occasion does take place. The unity of purpose, the interministerial work that has been there, not only in the preparations, but also in the past 3 days when we're facing a very, very serious crisis for this university and the celebrations themselves. There was such coordination and single-mindedness that was in the ministers, resulting in us just saying in one word, and these celebrations will go ahead. So I thank you very much, Mr. President, for that coordination, and I thank all the ministers who were involved in that process. Now I would like to thank the President of Zimbabwe, whom when I visited some 3 years ago, I was visiting him because there was some debt that the government of Zimbabwe owed. And I was visiting ministers, not him. Minister Mushowe in particular, who was coordinating the program, the scholarship of the president. So when I was there, Mr. Mushowe said, the president wants to see you. Then I got scared. We went to the State House, and guess what reception I received?
Yo, man.
Such a humble person. And when he came to me, he came to shake my hand, not my head, and said, my Vice Chancellor. That is the generation we talk about when we talk about the generation between 1916 and 1959 in this university.
Sure.
I would like to also thank him. I had included this before he mentioned it in his speech, the scholarship program. The scholarship program is not just for us about bringing Zimbabwean students to the University of Fort Hare. That scholarship has contributed so much in the throughput rate of this university and in the research output of this university. We are glad that even with the 14 universities that are now there in Zimbabwe, the University of Fort Hare will still be a primary source of education for the young people of Zimbabwe in higher education. Thank you very much, President Mugabe. There's just one last thing I would like to mention. I mentioned earlier that I went to Zimbabwe because we were owed money. In February, the President of Zimbabwe said to his ministers and administrators, "You must pay the University of Fort Hare any money that you owe from last year and part of the money for 2016.
Yeah.
And by the month of May, Zimbabwe has paid every cent for all the students that are here. Thank you very much, Mr. President. My final remarks.
We'll find this manager, I'm sure.
This is the beginning of a new century
Yes.
for the University of Fort Hare.
Yes.
My own university life started in this university 43 years ago.
9 months.
I was a first-year student here. I never knew that my own university life will be spent at the University of Fort Hare. I will spend the rest of my years in this university. When I'm out of it, I will still be part and parcel of this university.
Thank you, Doc.
It's a very eminent and historic institution. And I hope all alumni of the University of Fort Hare will make that pledge at some stage. We don't just talk about money, we talk about the contribution that you can make to this university at all times. And therefore, I'm handing this university for this century to the generations that come after us. They have to take that responsibility to pursue the National Development Plan, to pursue the African agenda. But as I hand over, I'm not handing over to disappear. I'm handing over to be there to see that it is done. That is what President Oliver Tambo did when he came back from exile, handing back the African National Congress to the people of South Africa. He did not hand it over to disappear. He handed it over in 1990 to still be part and parcel of that glorious organization. I would like to thank all speakers who spoke here today, who reminded us of the memories of this university in their own minds, but also gave us time to reflect on our own contribution in this university. We have been with alumni yesterday in the evening when they were launching their books, yesterday in the morning, and the history of the university is very rich. And I'm not going to repeat it. It has been delivered to you. We are going to collate all the speeches that were delivered here today, compile a booklet so that this can be part of the centenary booklet for years to come and be archived together with the Liberation Archive in this university.